Hi, in this video we're going to change the subject to the formula where we've got brackets involved and cube terms or higher powers. Now remember, to make x the subject of the formula means to get x on its own on one side of the equation. So we need to get that x on its own. And we sort of gradually undo the things around the x, the subject, to get on its own. So we almost like unpeel the onion, if you like. Now, if you've got brackets, you've got two things you could possibly do. You can either just divide both sides by a. So because this whole bracket is being multiplied by a, you can undo that times by a by dividing both sides by a. Or, and I prefer this way, you can just expand out the brackets first. So if I do that, y is equal to, we do a times the b, which is ab, and we do the a times the minus cx cubed, which is minus acx cubed. Okay, right. We've got rid of the brackets. Now we want to get this x on its own. Now, I had a little trick, which is basically if you have the subject in a term that's being subtracted from something, so we have minus and then the subject in that term there, we can use something called the Swapsy trick. So this is a little kind of shortcut, Swapsy trick. Let's suppose we had 10 minus 7 is equal to 3. How could you swap some of those numbers so that subtraction is still true? Well, you can swap the 7 and the 3, because 10 minus 3 is 7, isn't it? So it seems you can swap the thing you're subtracting and the result of that subtraction. So we can do the same here. We can swap the thing we're subtracting here and the result of that subtraction. So if we do that, we end up with ac x cubed is equal to ab minus the y, right? And now we can proceed. And this is a bit simpler now because x is kind of being freed up a bit. It's not being subtracted from something anymore. So let's think what's happening here to the x is being cubed, and then it's been multiplied by ac. Now we undo that times by ac by dividing both sides by ac. Remember, we shouldn't be cube rooting yet. We should only cube root once we got the x cubed on its own. So we do that. The left-hand side just becomes x cubed, and the right-hand side becomes ab minus y all over ac, like that. When you want to divide by something, you just put it all over that thing. Now, finally, to get rid of this cubed on the x, you do the opposite of that, which is cube rooting. So if we do that, we cube root the left-hand side, and you cube root the right-hand side. Remember to write the cube root, you just do this little root symbol with a little tiny 3 on the top left. So the cube root here cancels out that cube there, just leaving x. And on the right-hand side, we cube root the whole thing, the whole fraction, making sure that root symbol goes all the way over the fraction like that. And that is the final answer. We've got x on its own on one side of the equation.